So Kate Martin has been an important player for the Las Vegas Aces. Or has she? Ironically enough, Kate Martin is somebody who I think's role would be great. She could fit a good role with the Aces. But if you've been looking at how she's been, like, the minutes she's been playing since the break, 3 minutes in a win, and then didn't play. 3-3-0 minutes. And if you want to look at Kate Martin's stats throughout the entire year, her game by game, she started off the year as a legitimate, like, rotational piece for the team. 26 minutes, 14, 22, 21, 21, 14, 18, 32, 15, 9, 12. And then she had a spell where she broke back into the rotation. But since then, since the 7th of July, she's played over 10 minutes in a game once. She's only played over 10 minutes in a game once, has not taken a shot since the break. Kate Martin is somebody that is... A lot of people, again, are going to be saying that she should be great in Indiana. And I think she would. I think Kate Martin is somebody that you've got to push if you are Lynn Dunn to get to Indiana. Because you can play Kate Martin as a 15-minute-a-game bench player. She's shown that she can do it with the Aces. And she's shown that she can do it with Caitlin Clark. Not only that, Kate Martin is going to be a jersey seller. How many people that own Caitlin Clark jerseys are going to buy Kate Martin jerseys? She sells more jerseys than A'ja Wilson. And I get it. The Aces are probably not going to let her leave. Or at least leave easily. The Aces are not going to protect her in this upcoming draft. Maybe they will. Maybe will they? Will the Aces protect her in the draft? I don't know. Because Harris is going to be... Hayes is going to be retired again. Like, she's 35 and already retired. Or 34. Like, Gustafson's still there. Because, like, you're going to obviously have to retain Jackie Young. You're going to have to retain AJ. You're going to have to... I think Kelsey Plum is unrestricted free agent. You're going to probably retain Gustafson. You're going to retain Chelsea Gray, I think, isn't a free agent. So you're putting the rest of the players up for grabs, and Kate Martin is one of them. But I don't know if the Valkyries will select Kate Martin. And even if they don't, she is just barely playing. Barely playing right now. If you are the Indiana Fever, there's going to be a way. There's going to be a trade. There's going to be a way to get a... I don't know. I'm just trying to think of who to get. A second round pick. Kate Martin for a second. 2 seconds. Would that work? Would Kate Martin and... I'm trying to think who would help the Aces that isn't really playing for the Fever. Would Kate Martin and Grace Berger Kate Martin and your late second for a second and Grace Berger? I don't know. Something like that might work. Because you're getting an extra player back even. Like, the Aces are trying to get players on rookie deals. So they get Grace Berger on a rookie deal and a second that they can put in for the Kate Martin role. But I'm telling you, it's something that the Aces need to at least look at. Because we've obviously seen this jersey graphic. She sells more jerseys than A'ja Wilson. But Indiana, there are players that you just need. You need players that are good bench players. And it all depends on if Lexi Hull's starting or what story is with Lexi Hull. I think the starting lineup now, more so than anything, needs just a Nalissa Smith replacement. That's the biggest thing. I think that Nalissa Smith needs to come in, or needs to go. As good as Nalissa Smith is as a player, I just don't think she's going to be that good in Indiana. I don't think Indiana is the place for Nalissa Smith to be. But if you can go and get yourself a neck at the 4, I don't know if she'll leave Seattle, But let's just say the Seattle Storm flame out first round of the playoffs. Neck is a free agent, and then the Fever hypothetically go and beat the Sun. Probably not going to happen, but let's just say that happens. And then the Fever go and face and it's Aces Liberty in the semifinals. The Fever face let's just say a Lynx team, and then they lose in game 3 in a close one. And Neck is just thinking, okay, if I want to win a ring, let me just go to Indiana. And if you can make some sort of like a deal, or make some sort of a deal to get Kate Martin and go out next season with a starting 5 of like Nneka Nwumeke, Lexi Hall, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Caitlin Clark. And you've got a bench of potentially Katie Lou, Kate Martin, try to find a point guard, and keep Temi Fagbenle at all costs. Dantas is still on contract. And that is your like 10 rotation with Grace Berger. You had put Grace Berger in. When I say try to find a point guard, put Grace Berger in that rotation. Get rid of Wheeler. And then you've got whoever your first and second round picks are for this year, rounding off the bench. Just please cut Saxton. And that means Christy Wallace gone. Like she's going to be gone. Obviously, try to find some way of getting off Melissa Smith. And you're looking at a real good team of 12. You're looking at a real good team of 12 right there. And that's a team that chemistry-wise looks to be good. Play style-wise, they fit. That's what I would look at if I was the Indiana. Is you just need players that fit. Because, again, with the example I'm giving, is Kate Martin better than Melissa Smith as a basketball player? No. Isn't like Melissa Smith's touch and hands are so good that in certain teams where she's allowed to be that volume scorer and gets the ball in her hands quite a bit, she actually could be really, really good. There was a reason why she was the second pick. And she could be a borderline all-star, just not with Indiana. But Kate Martin fits better. We know she can play with Caitlin Clark. That is the type of team that I would be building towards. That run and gun team, you've got the orchestrator. Find a backup point guard that can run a team like that. Again, if you can try get Julie Van Loo, get Julie Van Loo. If not, try to find that point guard. You're not going to find one in the draft. So you need to find the next best thing in the draft. You're either going to go for a forward, which you might get some player with a motor, or you can look for a pow-pow, a 3-and-D player who can take some of the, who can basically come off the bench for Caitlin and play to 1 a bit, or also come off the bench with Kelsey Mitchell and be a spot-up shooter. Someone like a Tahina Pow-Pow would work. So this is a move that I think the Las Vegas Aces might be more open to making during the summer than we think. Because up to this point, I don't think the Aces, especially on that salary, would be saying we can get too much, or we can get a player that's much better than Kate Martin. But as she's playing less and less minutes as the season is going on, I just don't feel like... I feel like the Aces, she's going to barely play, if not get DMPs in the playoffs. And when you can find a player with the value of Kate Martin, who may not be perceived to be as valuable by the Aces right now, if you can give up effectively nothing for a player as valuable as Kate Martin, especially with the fit, the chemistry-wise, everything, heck, maybe even go to the Aces in the offseason. We will give you Melissa Smith and a second for Kate Martin and Megan Gustafson. You get off Smith, you give her to the Aces. The Aces, I think, would love someone like Melissa Smith coming off the bench and giving them a bit of scoring off there. You get yourself 2 players that you know for a fact are going to fit with the style of play. And yeah, maybe you've given up the best player in the trade, but you haven't given up the best player for your team, and you've gotten in the 2 best players for your team. Maybe something like that would work. But anyway, that is the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.